The incident. Fiction. Junior, put on your shoes. We're going to go over to the house to talk with your dad. The teenage boy nodded and looked for his shoes. What he wore was nothing out of the ordinary, a pair of khakis and a green Tommy Hilfiger button-up shirt, with a short-sleeve white t-shirt underneath. He knew the outfit would be worn with a pair of Steve Maddens, maroon with tan stripes, but still, he chose his running shoes. It didn't look right, but still, he put them on, unsure why, but knowing he should. They got into the car, he and his mother. They drove to their house at North Wilson Drive, parked in the driveway as they had always done, behind his father's Cadillac. They entered through the back door and his father sat at the kitchen table. He stood when they entered. They all sat. Parents talked. Junior, the teenage boy, said nothing. He wasn't even listening to what they were saying. Staring into space, he was lost in his own thoughts until finally his mother asked, "Junior, what do you think?" He looked up, and both pairs of eyes were on him. He froze, unsure of what to say or even what the question had been. "Junior?" He looked back and forth from one face to the other. Tears wet his father's cheeks while his mother's eyes remained calm, dry, steady, and unmoved. How did he get there? What was the question? Rather than respond, he stood up from the table, walked out the back door, and began to run as his parents sat, silent, refusing to call his name. North Wilson Drive passed in a blur as he moved through side streets, making his way toward Sterling. The sound of rubber soles against wet pavement filled his ears as he took off the green button-up and tied the shirt around his waist. The white t-shirt stuck to his skin. He turned on the Sterling, running past headlights along the busy street, letting his feet take him where they wanted. Eventually, exhausted and tired, they stopped outside his friend Pat's house. Covered in sweat and rain, with khakis glued to his legs, he rang the doorbell. Pat's mother answered the door. Without saying a word, she knew something was wrong. "Hi," Junior said through gasps of breath. "Is Pat home?" Air forced his way in and out of his lungs to his tired muscles. She smiled and nodded. "Yeah, come on in, Junior," she said. "Pat," she called. "Junior's here to see you." He entered with his usual greeting. "Hey man, what's up?" Junior shook his head from side to side, saying, "Nothing. Do you mind if I stay here for a while? Things are kind of crazy at home right now." Tears began to well up in his eyes. "Yeah, sure man, of course." Without asking if it was okay, simply knowing it would be, Pat and Junior moved to the basement. Junior sat quietly. They gave him a towel and maybe some clothes, but he can't be sure anymore. The memory hurts too much to grasp the full details of where he slept, who told his parents where he was, or what eventually happened afterward. All he knows for sure is that it hurt at the time, forcing him to go numb. And for some reason, just like that night, he felt he needed to go for a run.